At the foot of the mountains, melting snow spills into the valley, turning solid ground into cold, rising water.
Two tiny machines wake to rebuild a road that now sleeps beneath icy water. Stone by stone, they will lift the ground above the freezing meltwater. The excavator gathers weight, and the dump truck waits to carry it where it's needed most. The truck rolls toward the water's edge, small against the spreading flood. Cold meltwater breathes mist into the air, creeping closer to the last dry ground.
Under the pale water, the road still lies, hidden but not yet gone.
Rocks tumble into the icy flood, the first steps toward a higher ground. Each stone sinks down, turning depth into something firm enough to stand on. The excavator steps closer, ready to build upward from beneath the waterline. A narrow back of stone grows across the flooded ground, one load at a time. From above, the line of stone thickens where land and water meet.
They inch forward on a spine of rock, with cold water waiting on either side.
The flood reaches for the wheels, but the trucks climb just ahead of it.
In the middle of the flood, a small island of rock begins to take shape.
From the slopes above, water keeps coming, carving paths through the soft ground.
Each stone finds its place, locking into the surface that will hold beneath the wheels. Across the flooded plain, a narrow road of stone now rises above the water. At the edge of the island, the machines push the firm ground further into the flood. Water still finds narrow paths, but the gaps grow smaller with every stone they place. The valley floor is still flooded, but a clear line now crosses its cold surface. High above, the snow still waits to melt, but below, the ground holds firm once more.
From above, the difference is clear. Where water once ruled, stone now shares the valley floor.
Now they cross the middle of the flood as if it were solid ground. Under their weight, the pathway stays firm, a bridge of rock through the meltwater. At last, the road reaches firm ground on the far side of the flood.
The valley is still cold and wet, but a new line now holds.
In the wake of their passage, the mist lifts, revealing the path beneath the cold air.
Their work is just a narrow line of stone, but it is enough to hold the road above the
In the quiet of the thawing valley, the road remains, a thin promise of passage above the rising meltwater. On the edge of the sea,
Two tiny machines prepare to face the rising tide.
Stone by stone, a wall will rise between land and water.
Together, the machines gather the pieces for a barrier against the waves.
With every passing minute, the sea creeps closer to the fragile shore. The truck rumbles forward, small against the reach of the open sea.
The excavator steps carefully closer, placing each stone where it can matter most. The shoreline tilts under the power of each incoming wave.
Bit by bit, a rough wall grows, bending with the shape of the shore.
Their rhythm settles, gather, carry, place, repeat.
But the sea still threads its way through openings in the wall.
The tide climbs higher, and the tiny machines answer with their own rising pace.
The truck approaches the line where earth meets water and refuses to retreat.
The sea taps at the tires, testing the limits of where the machines can stand. A surge rolls in, throwing its weight against the unfinished barrier. The world seems to tilt with each surge, but the excavator keeps its slow, steady arc.
Wrapped in salt mist, the tiny machines move like patient workers in a giant workshop. With each load, the wall grows deeper and stronger against the tide. Stones lock together, turning loose pieces into a single solid face.
Seen from afar, only a thin, rippled line separates land from the restless water. Behind the stones, the ground stays dry as the tide presses harder against the front.
The excavator reaches out one more time, closing the smallest of openings.
The sea still climbs and falls, but now it must turn back upon itself. The tide reaches its peak, testing the wall one last time.
The tide begins to fall, its reach shortened by the new stone barrier.
The machines trace the length of their work from one end of the wall to the other. Behind the stones, the ground stays firm, marked only by the tracks of their passing. The shoreline holds steady, no longer slipping away with each wave. In the vast space of sea and sky, their work is small, but unless
They rest for a moment at the water's edge, listening to the quieter voice of the tide.
one stone holds its place, part of a wall built by tiny hands of steel. The machines turn inland, leaving the sea to test what they have made.
In the quiet that follows, the seawall remains, a thin promise of safety against the turning tide.
The desert wakes in silence as two tiny machines begin their day's work. first gusts arrive, pushing thin sheets of sand across their path.
A narrow path is pressed firm, a fragile line resisting the shifting dunes.
The sky grows pale and heavy, its blue fading under a veil of sand.
What was empty stillness becomes moving sand, alive with invisible force. Every movement is heavy and precise, carving order into chaos, grain by grain. The bulldozer draws a sharp, pushing back the desert one blade width at a time. On the horizon, the storm assembles, an advancing wall of dust and wind.
Against the flow of sand, the roller presses the road into something that can endure.
At the edge of the blade, the desert stacks up and falls away in endless waves.
Within minutes, the road is buried, then reborn beneath the drum of the roller. From above, they are almost nothing. Two moving points in a storm that fills the earth. Yet even beneath dunes that rise like mountains, the bulldozer keeps cutting its path. Where the dune spills onto the road, the roller turns collapse into a firm surface. The storm no longer sits on the horizon. It has swallowed the sky. In the heart of the storm, the world shrinks to a few meters of road at a time. From a distance, they almost vanish, but they never stop moving. Dust clings to every surface, softening sharp metal into muted shapes.
The world tilts under the storm's force, yet the machine leans into the drift and pushes.
Even half buried, the roller carves a track through the drifting sands. Slowly, the storm loosens its grip and shapes return to the horizon. The sky opens once more, revealing a calmer, cleaner horizon. Where the storm once raged, the road now lies firm beneath the roller's path. From above, the storm's scars are visible, but so is the line that survived it. The tiny machines move on, leaving a stable path behind them. Steel and rubber carry their weight forward, leaving order pressed into the sand.
The storm has passed, but the path it tried to erase stands firm. In a world this vast, their work seems small, but its mark stretches for miles. Even after the storm, each grain still moves, but the road holds its shape. In the quiet that follows, the road remains, a thin promise of passage in a moving sea of sand.
In the heart of the industrial district, a mighty foundation waits to be carved by the tiniest crew.
The ground drops steeply, towering over the little excavator below.
First, a safe path must be shaped. The tiny excavator enters a world far larger than itself. The earth here is immense and ancient. Each scoop is a mountain for a machine this small. The loader arrives to carry the burden upward. Together, they work in a steady rhythm of dig and carry. The climb upward is steep and demanding for such a small machine.
Above, the dump truck stands ready to haul the earth away.
Tiny wheels roll away carrying enormous weight compared to their size.
Down below, the excavator becomes almost invisible against the vast pit floor.
Stability must be shaped with precision as the pit grows deeper.
A firm base ensures safety for what comes next. The dig pushes downward beyond previous limits.
The loader resumes its steady cycle up and down the ramp.
Load after load, the foundation deepens and widens.
Another careful cycle of removal is completed. The hole grows vast, its scale overpowering the miniature crew. Walls rise like cliffs on all sides, towering over the tiny machine.
Precision guides every cut at the deepest point of the foundation. The bulldozer guards the edges against collapse.
Load after load, the earth shifts into its new arrangement. A level platform is shaped for the skyscraper to rise.
Precision defines the final touches at the bottom of the enormous hole.
The ground below now holds strength for what will stand above it. Their tiny forms rest after monumental effort beneath the surface. The scale of their work reveals the depth of their achievement. Their journey upward begins after the job is done.
Back in the world above, their mission is complete.
Below lies the birthplace of a future giant tower. In a vast industrial world, even the smallest machines can shape the sky. In the middle of a busy city, a tiny team is called to rescue a tired bridge over a powerful canal. Time and water have cracked its surface, leaving gaps above the rushing current.
First, every weak piece is checked and marked for removal.
Damaged boards are carefully lifted away from the water.
The dump truck collects everything the bridge can no longer hold. Every crumb that falls reminds them how close the water is.
Soon, one half of the bridge stands bare,
ready for a new start.
The waste leaves, making room for stronger pieces to come in.
Edges are trimmed clean so new parts can lock into place. Fresh material arrives, new boards, clean and strong.
Each new piece is moved one by one with care. The first plank stretches across the gap, bridging water and air.
Pressure and balance decide whether it fits just right.
Reinforcing beams bring new strength to the thin line over the water.
Together, crane and excavator guide every support into place. Board by board, the empty half of the bridge fills in. Next comes the layer that binds everything together.
The mix is delivered where wood and metal meet.
Every gap is sealed, so water and time can't tear them apart.
While one side sets, the team moves to rescue the rest. The same careful work repeats on the opposite side.
Old and new stand side by side for a moment in time.
Fresh boards return, this time to complete the crossing.
Steel and wood work together to find balance.
Across the moving water, a new path slowly takes shape. The final pieces slide into their waiting spaces.
The last seam closes, and the deck becomes one united surface.
A finishing layer gives feet and wheels a safe grip.
From one side to the other, the new surface flows as one line. Below, the water pushes hard. Above, the bridge now stands firm.
The current continues its rush, but the crossing above no longer fears it.
Their work here is small in ties, but great for everyone who will cross. Soon, the bridge will reopen to footsteps and wheels.
A clean line of planks and beams now shares the load across the canal. Across strong water and busy streets, a tiny repair keeps the city connected. In a wide and restless city, even the smallest machines can quietly rebuild the way forward.
In the heart of the city, a tiny fleet arrives to transform a tired park into a colorful new space.
The old ground is uneven, dull, and ready for renewal.
The excavator removes the worn surface to make room for fresh colors.
Every strip of old turf is carefully lifted away.
The dump truck collects what the park no longer needs.
Load after load, the old ground disappears from the park.
Soon, a clean canvas of soil opens up in the middle of the city.
The loader smoothed the new base where colors will shine. Uneven spots are pressed flat for a neat foundation. Fresh, colorful soil arrives to bring life back to the ground. A layer of fertile earth pours into the heart of the park. The new soil spreads like paint across a canvas. Careful passes blend the ground into a smooth, even field. The roller arrives to lock the new foundation in place. Each pass presses the soil tight, ready for new life on top. Tiny grains pack together, forming a firm, stable bed. Next, a carpet of bright green arrives to cover the dark earth. The first roll of new life is carefully lifted into place. A fresh stripe of green unrolls across the park. Strip by strip, the brown field turns into a green patchwork. The roller settles the grass into the earth below. Even the smallest details receive careful attention. Now it is time for trees and color to join the scene. Tiny holes are dug where shade will one day fall. Each tree is moved into place with careful, gentle nudges.
Roots slide into the ground, ready to grow.
Rings of soil hug the trunks, holding the trees steady. Colorful flowers and mulch arrive to brighten the corners. Flower beds form in tidy lines along the paths.
Step by step, the tiny machines have painted a new park into the city centre.
The last passes seal paths and grass in place. With their work nearly complete, the machines begin to leave the stage.
Behind them, a fresh green heart beats in the middle of the city.
The last truck and roller depart, their marks left in the soil and stone. Where mud once dominated, green and color now welcome every visitor. In a wide stone city, a small, renewed park reminds everyone how tiny machines can create a big change. The tiny construction fleet arrives at the flooded city canal.
Their mission: build a miniature flood barrier strong enough to protect the city.
The excavator starts by cutting into the weakened bank.
Every scoop makes space for a stronger foundation.
Loose earth is lifted out of the water's reach. The dump truck moves in to carry away the excess soil. Load after load, the unstable earth is removed.
first haul leaves the site, clearing the way for the barrier. The trench beside the canal is widened to hold the flood wall. The loader cleans and shapes the top of the embankment. Those spots are filled to create a stable surface for the wall. Across the whole stretch, the tiny team works with a single purpose. Sharp corners are softened to guide the water smoothly. Every rough edge can create turbulence and erode the bank.
Weak spots are cut away before they fail. A protective layer of stone pours along the water's edge.
Each stone settles into place, ready to resist the flow. Bit by bit, both sides of the canal gain new strength.
Final passes tidy the bank and clear loose debris.
The channel deepens to carry higher volumes of stormwater. Water now glides between firm, reinforced sides. The work zone stays busy, but every move is deliberate and controlled. Drainage branches are widened to prevent dangerous bottlenecks. The last stretch of the barrier receives its armor. Weight compresses the stones into a solid, interlocked layer.
From end to end, the canal now guides floodwater with control.
The flow is smoother, reducing strain on the Citial's drains. With the main work done, the tiny machines inspect the length of the wall.
Water now follows a clear, reinforced route through the city.
The system stands stronger and ready for the next heavy rain.
Stone and soil hold fast against every touch of water.
Their work may be tiny in size, but huge in impact. The last truck rolls away, leaving a safer city behind.
As the day ends, the new flood barrier quietly does its job.
Rain will come again, but the city is better prepared.
In a wide world, even the smallest machines can protect an entire city.
Tiny machines gather at the overflowing channel, ready to reshape the flow.
Every scoop makes space for stronger foundations.
Loose soil is lifted out of the water's reach. The dump truck waits to carry waste soil away. Load after load, the old material is cleared.
The first truck leaves to dispose of the excess earth.
The trench is widened to carry more water safely. The loader cleans the banks, shaping smooth edges. Along the whole line, tiny machines move with purpose. Curves are softened to guide the water smoothly.
Every rough edge can cause turbulence and erosion.
The excavator trims away the weak spots.
Fresh gravel arrives to armor the new drainage path.
A protective layer is poured along the water's edge.
Each stone settles to resist future floods.
The loader spreads the layer into a uniform shield.
Bit by bit, both sides of the channel are reinforced. Final passes tidy the banks and clear loose debris.
The channel deepens to carry higher volumes of water.
Water tests the new path, sliding over stable ground.
The work zone is busy, but every move is controlled.
Drainage branches are widened to prevent bottlenecks. The last stretch of the bank receives his armor.
Weight compresses the stones into a solid layer.
From end to end, the channel now guides water with control. The flow is smoother, reducing strain on the city's drains. With the work nearly done, the machines move to inspect the length. Water now follows a clear, reinforced route. The system is stronger and ready for the next storm.
Stones hold fast against every touch of water.
Their work may be tiny in size, but huge in impact. The last truck rolls away, leaving a safer city behind.
As the day ends, the new drainage quietly does its job.
Rain will come again, but the city is better prepared. In a wide world, even the smallest machines can protect an entire city.
After the heavy rain, water floods the land, rising quickly.
Tiny machines are called in to build a barrier.
The excavator begins work, digging the trench.
The trench needs to be deepened to prevent further flooding. The dump truck arrives with soil to fill the trench.
The dump truck slowly backs up to fill the gap.
Tiny stones and soil fill the gap left by the flooding. The bulldozer prepares to flatten the surface. The soil is compacted for better stability.
Gravel is carefully placed to ensure the barrier holds. Small machines, big landscape. Shaping the drainage line. The water tests the work.
A tine dozer brings stability. Leveling supports proper drainage.
The bank holds its line.
The valley becomes a coordinated workspace.
Large stones, tiny hands.
Precision carves the water path.
Water now flows with purpose.
Excess soil must leave the channel.
Transporting waste keeps the system clear.
Stability is reinforced.
A full drainage path takes shape.
The last segment is nearly ready. Water finds its new path. Final shaping ensures lasting strength. The valley begins to stabilize.
Layers settle together.
The system is fully formed.
A clear route for the flowing water.
The tiny workers step back.
The valley breathes easier now.
In this wide world, even the smallest machines can change the course of nature. In a vast valley, a tiny team faces a flowing challenge.
A drainage system must be shaped.
The tiny excavator takes position.
The valley floor is soft and uneven.
The channel must be widened.
Wet soil is lifted carefully.
A tiny truck brings reinforcement. Gravel will protect the water path. Tiny stones take their place. Small machines, big landscape. Shaping the drainage line. The water tests the work. A tiny dozer brings stability. Leveling supports proper drainage. The bank holds its line. The valley becomes a coordinated workspace. Large stones, tiny hands. Depth improves water flow. Precision carves the water path. The outer sides stay strong.
Water now flows with purpose.
Excess soil must leave the channel. Transporting waste keeps the system clear. Stability is reinforced. A full drainage path takes shape. Small corrections, big impact. The last segment is nearly ready. Water finds its new path.
Final shaping ensures lasting strength.
The valley begins to stabilize.
Layers settle together.
The system is fully formed. A clear route for the flowing water. The tiny workers step back.
The valley breathes easier now.
A tiny excavator joins the task. The desert ground is firm, yet fragile. A low spot must be shaped first. The tiny bucket begins its careful work. Each movement reshapes the desert floor. Tyne dump truck arrives with fresh material. Compression begins the road's foundation. Tiny machines shaping a giant world.
Loose sand must be moved.
A path slowly emerges.
A tiny bulldozer arrives to level it. The team works steadily under the desert sky. The road becomes firmer. The edges define the path.
Gravel adds strength to the surface.
Tiny stones. Enormous stability.
Balance is crucial in the desert ground.
The wind tests their progress. Compression finalizes the foundation.
The tiny road stretches further. Even a desert road needs drainage.
Every detail matters.
The finishing touches approach.
A path carved by tiny machines.
Built small, but built to last.
Even the wind shapes this world. The work begins to settle. A new route across the desert emerges.
Tiny adjustments ensure stability.
The world remains vast, and the machines remain small. The desert accepts its new path. Their job is complete.
In the wide desert, even the smallest machines can shape the land.
After heavy rain, a tiny dam struggles against the rushing water.
A breach has formed and grows with every passing second.
A Tyne repair team arrives.
The ground is soft and difficult, but they continue forward.
Their first task is to widen the working area.
Unstable ground must be removed. Clearing space makes room for stronger materials.
The water keeps widening the breach.
So the team brings compact soil to reinforce the wall.
The first layer slows the rushing water. Beneath the surface, the new layer begins to hold.
Now stones are brought to anchor the soil.
Heavy stones resist the force of the water.
The water's strength is pushed back.
Sandbags will seal what soil and stone cannot.
Each bag adds weight and stability.
Slowly, the flow weakens.
Another layer strengthens the barrier. Fine gravel fills the smallest gaps. Compression locks every piece together.
The rushing stream has lost its power. More soil reinforces the outer wall.
Pressure from above seals the structure.
Beneath the flow, stability is restored. Working as one, they rebuild the weakened section. The surface begins to look solid once more. Edges are strengthened to resist future rains. The final layer brings the repair together.
The breach no longer grows.
Their work nears completion. The new wall stands firm. Above the breach, the reservoir calms.
A final inspection begins. Every part remains steady.
The flow now moves smoothly by. Their tiny job is complete.
What was once broken is now made strong. A tiny effort, restoring balance after the rain. A tiny wooden bridge has given way, while the water below flows stronger than ever.
Pieces of wood now lie trapped in the fast-moving stream.
But a tiny construction team is on its way.
Every movement must stay stable on the wet, slippery bank.
First, the old broken pieces must be cleared away.
Even a tiny machine can lift more than it seems.
One broken piece, safely out of the rushing stream. The water still tears at the loose remains.
Now, new strength must be built beneath the bridge.
Heavy stones will stand against the current. Each stone drops into place beneath the surface.
Under the rushing water, a new foundation begins to grow.
The tiny machines move in rhythm, each with a critical role.
Soil will lock the stones and resist the pull of the stream.
The spaces between the rocks are filled carefully.
Layer by layer, the base grows heavier and more solid.
Now, a tiny bulldozer shapes the surface above the waterline.
The current still pushes hard, but the ground now holds its shape.
With the base secured, new beams can bridge the open space. The first beam connects the old and the new. More beams follow, sharing the weight across the span. Slowly, the shape of the tiny bridge returns.
A layer of gravel will make the surface firm and safe.
Tiny stones grow and roll into every gap.
Together, they lock themselves against slipping and shifting. The final passes turn the loose layer into a solid path.
Below, the water finally flows under the bridge as it should.
Above, the tiny bridge stands steady once again. Stone, soil, wood, and careful work hold together against the current.
The water still tests the structure, but the tiny bridge does not give way.
Their quiet repair work is complete.
What was broken now stands calmly above the moving stream.
Beneath the surface, the hidden work holds everything in place.
From above, the repaired span is simple, but dependable. The flow is smoother now, carrying everything safely beneath. A tiny bridge, holding its place in a wider world.
A quiet story of patient repair, where small machines faced a strong stream and won.
A brand new tiny road project begins today.
5 miniature construction vehicles are ready for action.
Ground leveling initiated.
The tiny bulldozer shapes the base layer. Collecting gravel for the roadbed.
The loader lays the foundation gravel.
Tiny asphalt is poured onto the prepared surface.
Paver spreads a smooth miniature layer of asphalt.
The road roller compacts the asphalt into a perfect surface.
Teamwork in perfect miniature harmony.
Shoulders aligned.
A perfectly built tiny road appears. Another flawless miniature construction project, completed with precision.